Shit.
Put your fuzzy on.
Derek, if you would raise your fuzzy up.
I want to raise my fuzzy.
There you go. Raise that fuzzy up.
You look like half a Santa Claus with that beard.
Don't hate. Just don't hate.
I hate you.
You have so much venom. Don't hate.
You look like half a Santa Claus.
Hey everybody, it's Shit Talk Reviews. We're glad to be here. I'm always glad I get to sit in the room with these two fine gentlemen.
Fuckers.
Good
Or
recovery.
fuckers.
Thanks,
Good
buddy.
recovery.
So we're all in the house today. It's a Friday again, and we're just happy to be here.
It's Friday.
Am I wrong? Are we
Yeah,
all
it's a
happy to
good
be here?
day, John.
It's Boozo o'clock.
I've been waiting for this day for a while,
You have been waiting for this.
patiently, since the first album. Put it that way.
That's
It's been
good.
a while.
That's good. Hey, real quick before we get into the record, we have a website up now, and we're excited about that. And we appreciate the feedback we've gotten on it so far. And I would like to take just a quick second, a hot second, not much, because we don't do SAP on this show. Thank you. I was going to thank you, Derek, for all the work you've done getting that site up and getting it ready. But if that's the kind of reception we get for the gratitude,
I do what I need to do for you guys, especially Dave, who is the deadbeat of the three of us. He's the first one to stick his boobs out for everybody to see on every single podcast. He's a complete deadbeat. He doesn't do anything except just be a pretty face.
John, what can I say? He's spot on.
that's true.
I'm not lying about any of this.
And you know what? You do have a pretty face.
Thank you, John. You always have my
Well,
back.
Back to the website, we're pretty happy with how it came together. The cool part is we're actually adding some videos when we can to some of our written reviews. And obviously we are going to up our game and do videos for every single one of our podcasts moving forward. And this is all feedback from our three fans that follow us. And also two of those
Thanks,
three.
Kate.
Yeah. Two of those three actually went and said nice things about us on the review section. So thank you to whoever did that.
there's a cool little thing that I didn't see until after the site was launched. We have a little microphone on the site that you can go and leave
Hate mail.
voicemails or hate mails, which is both very cool and very nerve-wracking at the same time.
Outstanding job on the website. It's awesome for sure.
Well, thank you. Listen, guys, if you're going to put yourself out there, we're going to take the hate mail. So feel free to record
Fair.
whatever you want on the website. Tell us how much we suck. We will embrace it. We might even put you on our podcast. We love insults. It's called Shit Talk Reviews. So we do encourage you to go on there and leave your best venom. We have thick skin. We
Not me. I'm fragile and dainty.
He's used to walking into towns,
Stop it.
whatever town offices, and having old ladies take
Stop
their
it.
dentures out.
Stop it.
Oh, FaceTime.
I'm just
stop
used
it.
to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at that. Look at that mug. David,
Yes.
it is your week, my friend.
This
What
is
are we talking
exciting.
about?
So today we are talking about the mighty mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen, and I've been waiting for this album patiently since his debut a few years ago. So we'll get into that and we're going to discuss it. But John, there
Wait a second, sorry.
Sure.
His dad was somebody, was
So John,
Great
Famous-
intro, Dave.
yeah,
Nice job.
Gardener.
there's no I don't really I want to really put today and celebrate Wolfie, but we have to talk about Eddie Van Halen. And John, as you know, there's no bigger Eddie Van Halen fan than myself. So
Fair.
this is an absolute honor to be talking about Wolfie. And just to go back, just to give you guys an idea of how much it means to me. 1984, March 31st, from New York, there was a station called Z100, one Van Halen tickets. I was in 7th grade. Absolutely amazing. Couldn't believe my eyes. The band starts out with Unchained, and there he is, Eddie Van Halen, in front of my face as a kid. Complete unbelievable feeling. And then you fast forward all those concerts, probably seen them 30, 40 times throughout 1984 to their last tour in 2012. And here comes Wolfgang Van Halen,
The boy.
raw. And being from New York, I was listening to Howard Stern daily. I know Derek's a huge Stern guy. And he was on right before they did this tour in 06, maybe 05. Roth's back in the band. Different Kind of Truth, brand new Van Halen album. I would implore you to listen to it. Fucking amazing. And that's really where Wolfie starts, right? bass player, 15 years old on this album. I get to go to Madison Square Garden and see these guys. 15 years old. He's on stage like he's been doing it for 30 years, and he's fucking killing it at 15 years old.
Look at the reverence on Dave's face right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glowing, dude. This is awesome. And then, you just come to find out that the kid has got unbelievable talent, and he's able to give us music like he has. And again, he told Howard Stern, my kid's amazing. And wait till you hear this kid. He's got so much talent. So I don't want to go on and on, but I met Eddie Van Halen. I had the great experience to meet him. I remember Wolfie, it was 1995, the Balance Tour. Wolfie's 4 years old being chased around by his nanny. I'm backstage. I met his dad, who was the nicest guy you could ever meet. So I just hope that this kid has as much success as his father, honestly.
Fair?
Yeah.
If
Derek is dying.
He's
right
dying.
now.
if
Yeah.
Dave, no. If Dave was Peter North, you would see this big shaft come up into the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
I'm a
so
fan.
hot and bothered right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
unbelievable. The sexual tension in this room is actually disturbing
John, you might understand this. Derek won't. But
because I know nothing.
listen, I'm 52, bro. I'm on the back nine. I've been a Van Halen fan since I'm 11 years. I bought Diver Down was my first album in 1982. This is all I got. I had Eddie all these years. And I think about the guy every day that he's not with us. But now I get to go on the back nine and take Wolfie right to my grave. And I just hope Wolfie's around for a long time.
You better hope Wolfie doesn't pull a Jim Morrison,
yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
I just hope Wolfie's around for a long time,
Wolfie,
because
keep it together, son.
how many could say it's just insane that I get to have now the opportunity to listen to this kid kill it.
That's fair.
and
That's fair.
I'm
There's something it's kind of a romantic notion. It's kind of
so,
sweet.
I hope he doesn't quit after he hears what I have to say about it.
Yeah. Eddie was fucking Eddie, man. He's like America's rock guitar player.
Eddie Van Halen.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And as such, Wolfie's kind of like Wolfie's like America's son,
It's true.
guitar son.
No doubt.
And Wolfie is fucking talented.
Yeah.
No doubt.
This guy, he is a great fucking guitar player. You hear that, like the whole Nepo baby thing. I had my doubts before the first record came out. We've done a bunch of bands now, a bunch of albums where it's a single person covering all the instruments.
A lot. We've been doing a lot.
Here we have another one with
Yeah.
Wolf. Does he Wolfie, Wolfgang?
I think he goes by Wolf.
Wolf?
Wolfie. Yeah. I'm not really sure.
But yeah, so Wolfie, Mr. Van Halen clearly knows what he's doing in there. He can really fucking play on all the instruments.
Yeah, he plays on the whole every
instrument.
every instrument.
John,
Yeah.
here's what I love about the guy. He's not following the path of Van Halen,
Mhm.
right? He's creating his own path. He's got his own sound, but at the same time, he just can crush anything. I don't think there's anything this kid can't do.
Well,
honestly.
he's spoken to not wanting to be a carbon copy of his dad, which I think he's so far doing a pretty good job of.
Yeah.
There's definitely some nods in there. There couldn't not be,
Just
flavor.
And just so we know, this isn't an accident. Jan Van Halen, the parents of Eddie, and Alex was a renowned musician. Well, Alex and Eddie were growing up as pianists. I mean, they were accomplished pianists doing competitions and winning competitions. Here comes Wolfgang. So
You're an accomplished penis.
he was pianist.
Penis. You're
Get your
an accomplished
mind out of the gutter.
penis.
But then here comes Wolfie with
And
all this
Peter Howard
talent.
jokes.
Here comes Wolfie with all this talent. He just carries on the family legacy, right? It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Let's let Derek is absolutely dying over here. Take the floor.
There's no doubt that he is absolutely talented. You heard it on the first record. What was interesting is Loudwire. He said one of my biggest inspirations was Dave Grohl. Van Halen responded when asked about his songwriting. When he started the Foo Fighters, he did everything himself on their first album. So he is following those footsteps. Interestingly, I heard so many odes to a lot of different bands. On Erase Me, I heard Dance Macabre from Ghost. I mean, there was like a real big ode in there. Right is a Def Leppard song. Joe Elliott could slide right in there and sing that song. I'm All Right is a Def Leppard song all the way through. Another Celebration at the End of the World is a pop version of the Foo Fighters. Miles Above Me sounded like Better Than Ezra. Greatness is often imitated, never duplicated. I think that he actually, Wolfie, was able to take a lot of these sounds of these bands and expand upon it. He is, for all intents and purposes, probably a better musician than a lot of the bands that I just mentioned, outside of Dave Grohl. What I took away from it, though, was I had such high expectations for him coming off the first record that there was no way he was going to meet my expectations on this, because I thought he was going to go completely off the beaten path and do something completely original. But he took inspiration from a lot of different sounds. And for me, that was disappointing.
The second album's always tough to outdo the first album, though.
Mhm.
Always, no matter what band you are. Well, there's some bands that fired off a few.
The sophomore
Yeah.
record is always a hard
It's
one.
always a tough one.
If the first record came out great, the expectation is high.
That's it. Plain and simple. Yeah.
I thought that the first record cut a little bit harder. Rock and roll, if you're going to be in rock and roll, it has to be a little bit dangerous and a little bit blasphemous. And this, to me, goes more towards, the Swifties and more towards pop and being universally accepted, much more so than the first record. And for me, that was a little disappointing. I mean, this is a guy that can play all of Eddie Van Halen's solos. He can play Eruption. And, I just listened to songs like Better Than You. It's unbearable. It's just very cheesy. Optimist, so the breakdown riff is just an atrocity as far as I'm concerned. Like watered down Corn and Cold Chamber,
I think you're
chug.
fucking out of your mind.
Like, give
Say Optimist.
me a break. This guy can do anything, and
Optimist
he's
is one
going
of the best
do
songs on the album.
like,
Oh.
come on, man.
Yeah, I think
He can do so much more, and he didn't.
Well,
Well-
just because he could do so much more doesn't mean what he's putting out now isn't good either. I don't know.
The
what you
riff
were
on
listening
it is a joke. It's simple. I mean, I could go figure that out in a day, not even, and
I'll
I
tell you
stuck.
what. Let's do it. Let him figure it out today.
I'm gonna side
What?
with Dave here. Let's hear your record.
Okay, fine. I can go write that riff. I can go do that riff. Give me I'll go find the tablature and I will play it. That is easy.
I'm
Okay.
not saying it doesn't have to be the most complicated thing out there,
Look, when you can do the things that his father could do,
Uh-huh.
to hear something as simple as that, again, it's just, look, if the goal is to make money, and Wolfie, if you're watching this, good for you. You're going to make money with this.
I don't think he
And
needs the money.
He doesn't need the money. But if you go and you look at the charts right now, he's on the top of all the charts. And if the goal is to do that, then fine. But I want to hear something that's breaking genres and, do what your dad did. Break molds, be eccentric, be absolutely a huge rock star. Don't be something that everybody else already is. It didn't hit the mark for me. I like the first record far better, and that's just me. I think this is too far pop, and it sounds too much like other material that's out there. And I think he can do more.
I knew this wasn't going to be up his alley. I mean, I knew it. I get
Mhm.
it, but I think he's way off. I think he's just way the fuck off on this.
I
Yeah.
like the record. As with all records, there's tracks I like more than others, but I like the record. We are not in agreement on that,
That's
which is
fine.
fine. It's totally fine. I love heavy, complex knuckle dragon riffs, man. You know this. But I have no problem dialing back a little bit time and again. And this is
I'm the same way.
this is an album that I enjoyed a lot. I like the front half of the record a little better than the back half, but there's still a ton of stuff in those songs on the second half of the album that I really dig. That very break that you're talking about, I like it. Yeah, it's simple, but it's just a great fucking, like drop right in the middle, and then it comes back and ends with that same pattern. I like it, but I like the guy.
I
And
think
I like
I
the
do
album.
too.
I like the album.
The album is, if you're looking for, like what he's looking for, you're just not going to get that. It's just not going to happen.
What do you mean it's not going to happen?
It's not a knuckle drag.
I'm not looking for knuckle dragging. I'm
Yes,
not
you are.
looking for that. I
You
know I am
are.
not. I am looking for him to be genre. He has the talent
He doesn't
to
give
be
a fuck
something. No,
what
no,
you're
no, no.
looking
How do
for.
you know? Have you
Yes.
talked to him?
He doesn't
Have
care
you fucking
what
talked
you're
to him?
looking for. It's absurd. They got
What to do something that hasn't been? He can do anything. He sounds like a bunch of other bands, dude.
Listen, we could sit here all fucking day and do a podcast on a band and go track by track and pick, right? we could pick a song that's going to sound like what any other band all day long. Well, that sounds like this. That sounds like that. He's not fucking, he's off on this. I'm sorry.
Well,
We
we
could
can
sit and
agree to
nitpick-
disagree.
We could sit and nitpick every fucking song we've done and say it sounds like a different band.
I will tell you
That
that
was
the
really-
test for me is if
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to it again after reviewing it,
Everybody sounds
No.
like Def Leppard.
I'm not going to listen to this again. It's for me, the talent's there. You can see it. He executes everything perfectly. I mean, he is an incredible musician and a wonderful person. I mean, I love the things that he says in the media. It just, for me, I just had really high expectations for this, not knuckle dragging, just let's see that talent fly, man.
Well, like I said, it's only his second album. So, I mean, we're going to get way more out of this kid, right? Do you agree?
I would
I
assume.
mean, this
yeah.
isn't going anywhere. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I disagree. I think, listen, was it as good as the first one? No doubt it wasn't. This was different for sure, but I liked it.
Well,
I did.
it's a radio friendly rock.
No
record.
doubt. No question. Waiting, chillest song on the album, almost a ballad. Loved it.
Mhm.
I don't need to hear the thrash and the riffs and all that stuff all the time. I don't. Now, am I biased because it's Wolfgang Van Halen? Sure, I am. Probably.
Mhm.
My expectations are just as high as Derek's. Was I disappointed the album was as good as the first one? Yeah, I still like it.
So
Mhm.
so
You
when I go soft, I like Matthew Bellamy of Muse is, to me, is absolutely incredible. And every album has so much to hear, and it's different from album to album to album. And I believe that he is on the same level as Mr. Bellamy. He is one of the elite performers and talents that's out there, but it is not at the level. This album is not anywhere near where it could be. And I would listen, Wolfie, if you're watching, you are you and you are your father's son. Go be the best.
Now you're comparing. That's insane. Okay, so
He
his
can do
father,
it.
because his father's Eddie Van Halen, you need to go out there, Wolfie, and you need to perform because your dad's Eddie Van Halen, or everything else is unacceptable.
I'm saying
What
that
an
it has-
asinine comment.
the song. No, I'm just saying that the songwriting on this thing is it's boring. It's been done. He can do more.
Of course. Okay, he can do more. Okay, Wolfie, do more. Derek expects more from you.
I mean,
know,
we're doing this for a reason. We all have opinions. So my opinion is
No,
that.
that's totally valid. Everybody, we can all look at this album completely the same or totally differently. That is one of the great things about this.
Yeah, I get it.
I picked up a lot of stuff in the album that I really dug. I know he has said that he was listening to Tool and Meshuggah during the recording of this, and there's moments. There's certainly no Meshuggah tracks on this, and there's no Tool songs on this, but there are little things here and there.
Listen to Take a Bow. Take a bow.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Um,
Listen to the guitar solo, and he never does this.
oh yeah.
He
We
never
talked
does.
about this.
He never does this. So even in his other album, and even in this, he rarely ever sounds like his dad. He really doesn't. I mean, go back to the first album. He doesn't do this. He did on Take a Bow.
Well, I will
If
tell
you
you.
close your eyes during the solo, you think it's Eddie Van Halen.
He used the Frankenstein guitar
There you go.
and Eddie's amp rig just for that lead, not for the rest of the track, but just for that lead.
To my point.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. It sounds exactly like his father. And he rarely does that. I thought that was awesome. I don't know, Derek, did that suck too? That he paid homage
Do you
to his
want to
dad?
know if Peter
I don't know.
Steele
Was
had
that
had,
not a good arrangement
if
for
Peter
you?
Steele had kids and they were putting out music, I probably would defend them the same way you are, Dave. I mean, we're fans of music and you're fans of Eddie, and frankly, whatever Wolfie's going to put out, you're going to be there. You even said it.
I did.
You're going to die with him. So
Yeah.
and that's fine. Again, it didn't meet the mark for me. I thought the first album was better, and this was a step backwards.
Was there anything
Okay,
you liked on this record?
Yeah, I mean, I like the execution of all of it. I mean, any guy that can play every instrument on it is great. And again, to be able to do little nods to other bands and other sounds and other structures of bands is amazing. And the execution's perfect. And Michael Baskett, he produced a wonderful record with him. Again, it for me, it was a step back from the first one. I was hoping for more, and it didn't hit the mark for me. But he could go out and do a doom album. He could go out and do a pop record. And Dave, you're probably gonna be really excited about it. There's nothing that he's gonna do that you're not gonna like. And that's what fandom is. He has the ability to really, really knock it out of the park, and he took a step back.
I think
That's
if he
my
wasn't the
opinion.
father of Eddie Van Halen, you wouldn't be so hard on him. I think because he is, because he's the son, and he comes
You're
from that.
taking this personal.
I just think you're putting, there's pressure. There's no doubt there's pressure on him, right? His dad's Eddie Van Halen.
Sure.
But I think his point would be different if that wasn't the case. That's all.
Mhm.
You know,
I just had lofty expectations.
okay. You had
That's
a
it.
lofty expectation that didn't meet.
You even said it yourself. It's not as good
I
as the
did. I
last
said it
record.
wasn't
So why are we fighting?
Was there a chance for a hug at the end of this?
No, no.
He's
We're gonna-
Derek's off on
We're
this one.
throwing down.
Gonna knock
But
it
no,
down.
I'm agreeing with
Derek's-
what you said. This is a step back from
I
the
never
first
said
record.
it was a step back. I said it wasn't as good as his first one.
Here's
I'm not
what,
selling millions of records.
here's what I know. I know that I enjoyed the record. I thought it was well done. I thought it was well played. Is it overall my kind of music? No. I mean, I'd not say it's not, but I like things a little more aggressive. I was thrilled to read that he was listening to Meshuggah while he was writing this. I think
He's a
that's
fan.
fucking awesome. I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan. But on its own, did I enjoy listening to it? I did. Yeah. Like I said, I like the first half a little bit more than the back half. But so I certainly don't hate it. And on its own, is it a decent record? Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I mean, the guy's going
And I
to
enjoyed it. more.
he's going to put another record on. He's going to go and he's going to headline. He'll come out with a third album, hopefully to Derek's liking, hopefully. And
It's
he's
not
going to
about me.
headline. His next tour, he'll be a headline, and he'll be around for a long time.
Standout tracks.
I have 5.
What's the top?
Sorry, Optimist wasn't to Derek's liking, but that was one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs. And no doubt, Take a Bow is just killer. Those are my top 2, but they're all good.
Derek?
I liked Right. I thought that was pretty good. You know, I'm all right. A little bit of a Sunday night football song, but it was pretty good.
Sunday NFL.
Yeah.
It's a,
Absolutely insane.
So mad.
well, I'll tell you, I love Right. My standouts are Right. It's a great opener. I love the off time feel of it. The outro is nasty. That was definitely, I think he picked up a little Meshuggah influence on that outro. And Like a Pastime. I love the flavor there too. The 16th note guitar
Right.
picking pattern over it. It's just clean.
Insane.
Interestingly, that kind of speaks to one of the things that Derek was talking about. It's a simple pattern, but it's an effective pattern. So those two are my 2 standouts.
Yeah.
And props to Basket as well for putting a super clean, well-produced record together.
It is a very clean. I mean, it was. I mean, everything produced cleanly the way you would expect. Not murky at any point. Perfectly put together, and there's props to that for the execution.
John, where do we go from here?
I don't know if you guys are ready for what I've chosen for next week.
Oh, are we scoring this?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
that's right.
Jesus.
Sorry, you're right.
Got off topic.
I'm going last. I'm sick of going.
All right, you'll go. I'll go first. I'm right. I'm going to give it, oddly enough, the same score I gave last week's record. I'm going an 8.75. Well produced, well performed, and I enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah.
I know that Derek isn't wild about it, so I bumped it up another quarter.
Yeah, I went 7.5. Talents there, production values are really good. It's a good rock record. If
Yeah.
you want to listen to it, that borders on some pop, but you know, it's solid. It's not great. Could be great. Let's see Wolfie be great.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's a fair.
That's not a terrible score either.
No, it's not. Listen, if he put out 10 tracks and he farted on each track and that was it,
You'd still love it.
I'd fucking love it.
Yeah.
So to me, to score this, it's an 8.5. You know, solid. It's a solid score.
Mhm.
But I love him, man. I'm a fan. Like I said, this is it. I'm on the back 9. Wolfie's all I got. It's the last event. It's the
One
last.
foot in the grave.
It's
man.
the last thing I have for the Van Halen legacy for me, right?
Well,
All right.
on that
This was a
note,
little hostile today.
Listen,
It
here's
got
the
a
thing.
little hostile.
You, Dave, you're more of our rock guy in the
I'm
house.
like the rock guy.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
more the rock guy in the
Yeah.
room. Derek, you're more the thrash guy in the room. I'm more the prog guy in the room.
True. No
And
doubt.
to that end, I'm going to give you guys a record
Here we go.
for next week. You may both come in here and take me apart for
Really?
doing this to
All
you.
right. Exciting.
This is we are doing the latest release. It's called Ashen from Humanity's Last Breath.
Wow. Okay.
I've not done a deep dive, but I've heard the record. It is an intense 47 minutes of music. So
Okay.
I'm
Well, I'm
I'm-
sure he's going to love it.
hey, I'm very excited to listen to this for the next 7 days.
Wolfie, I love you, man. I'm a fan. Keep going, brother. That's all I got. You're all I got, Wolfie.
You're all I got. Look,
You're all
man.
I got, man. And fuck Derek.
Fuck you too. Let's go have a beer.
Yeah. Anybody got anything before we
No.
get the hell out of this place?
No, just a shout out to Kate, our number one. Oh, and country. About anything on country?
Well, always,
Our new website has the ability to put banner ads up. So,
Yeah.
if anybody wants to throw us some ducats, we're cheap.
country time corporate.
John, and it's not just for the summer. Please.
Every time. It's good all fucking year round. And so there you have it. Derek's out. Dave's going to drop at any moment. So appreciate you.
Love you, John.
Love you too, buddy.